I'm here with Dan. We've just witnessed the game of the season, I reckon.
Wow.
Nah, all seriousness, Arsenal, at least we didn't lose. We've drawn at Nottingham Forest, 0-0. Wasn't the best of games. Dan, your thoughts?
Well, title's dead and buried last week. It's definitely not on the head tonight. That's all I will say. But we knew that already. I think tactically tonight, I'm sort of confused, bruv, because I don't know where positionally some of our players were supposed to be tonight. Now, I understand that a lot of us, myself and Turkish included, were calling for Mikel Arteta to do something a little bit different. Now, I was hoping to see more of a kind of formation change, maybe a three at the back with some wing backs and put some balls in the box to Marino. But it's a nice segue into him. Where was he playing tonight? I don't understand the positioning of him. I don't know if he's supposed to be right back, left back, wing, midfield, up top. He was pretty much
False
everywhere.
nine?
Well, I don't even know if you could call him anywhere near the 9. I don't think the guy was playing up top, was he? I mean, he had a couple of opportunities to head the ball from set pieces, but that was from corners. That was the opportunity I saw him in the box where I wanted to see him most of the game. And then I believed that there was in the first half Calafiori who did move into that kind of transition towards a false 9, if you want to call it. And Marino would kind of drop back or Rice would drop back. And then we saw in the second half Kieran Tierney come up and I was seeing him in the box some of the time. So I don't know at the moment, look, we haven't got a striker, but we are actually playing without any kind of forward. And it is just like everybody play everywhere apart from that number 9. Now, look, I'm not the best with tactics and maybe Graham and James would be better to be spoken about this, but I would love to understand. I'm looking forward to listening to that, to see whereabouts these players were supposed to be tonight. And I look at Marino's positioning and I question it. And then Calafiori and Tierney in the second half and first half were really confusing. So, look, it wasn't good, man, was it? Let's just be real. You know, we've got the defence, we've got the midfield, and at the moment we're just blunt as a spoon up top because we've got nothing there.
I think that's borne out by the fact that I looked at our last 4 games, if you include the Newcastle Cup game, and I think we've gone scoreless in 3 out of 4 of those games.
So I asked the question, are this ownership and this board happy with what they are seeing, and can they justify their decision making in January? That's what I would love the Cronkies, the board and Mikel Arteta to be transparent with us about. Because if they're saying they couldn't do anything in January and we've put ourselves in this mess with a front three that is as blunt as you like, that is toothless, and we're supposed to be going for a title and a Champions League. That's the question I've got. Now, people have given up on the season already. Some people have definitely given up on at least the Premier League title, and I would appreciate that and understand why. But I want them to understand how the manager is coming out in a press conference and they're telling everybody, over my dead body, are we giving up on this title? And you see performances like that where we've got nothing up top. We don't look like scoring. Unless it's from a set piece, which we had about 9 or 10 corners from tonight. And we didn't look like scoring from them either. So the last set piece we scored was in December away to Fulham. Right? So we've had the whole of the new year, and we're now in March. We haven't scored from a set piece, which is apparently what we're lethal at. So we've got no set pieces going our way. We've got nothing in play. We've got no creativity, and we've got no killer. How are we going to win football games, Laurie? Like, real talk, how are we going to win any of these coming games?
It's a good question. One that I can't answer at the moment.
Well, look,
I'll tell you what I would say, which is the obvious thing, is if we had someone to put the ball in the back of the net. Like I said, our last 4 games, 3 of them we've not scored in, and it is worrying. But you know what? I guess there are some positives. We kept a clean sheet tonight, and we saw off the likes of Chris Wood, Elanga, and Hudson-Odoi. Chris Wood and Elanga substituted. So I guess you could say that side of the team worked quite well. You know, maybe that is a positive tonight.
Look, draws get you top 4. They don't get you a title. Draws kill you in a title, if I'm honest with you. So Nottingham Forest are happy tonight because they've got a point and that's what they're going for. They're not going for the title. Neither are we now, right? Top 4 it is. They'll be happy with top 4. That'd be an unbelievable achievement for them to get Champions League football. So they're walking away thinking, we've got a point at Arsenal. We'll take that. Yeah, they've got nothing up top, but we'll take that point. Arsenal are walking away going, title over and we're done and dusted. And I feel like there's a lot of the fan base that are kind of trying to cling on to something. And I'm struggling with the positivities. Because if the positive tonight is that we kept a clean sheet, well, that's what we should be doing, shouldn't we, against Nottingham Forest? With the defence that we've got and what we've paid on, out of the 750 million we've spent, the majority of it has gone at full-back, centre-back and midfield. Where's our attack? When are we going to go and get that attack? So I look at it now in January and the summer, And I question the Raheem Sterling situation. I question spending 70 to 80 million on a left back and a centre midfielder. Why did we not go and whack that on a Victor Gyökeres and release his clause and get a number 9? Why did we not do that? Very, very frustrating. And we've lumped all of the risk now and all of our chances on Kai Havertz staying fit. And he's gone down in Dubai. Now, that is going to be it. And I wasn't even a massive fan of Kai Havertz, if I'm honest with you. I think he's a player that can come into the squad and he could be a squad player. I don't think he's a starter in every single game, but he would have started in every single game. We've got nothing coming through the academy because the one that we did have, we've sold to Man United in Chido Obi Mayan, right? He could have got a chance. And he doesn't seem, or he seems reluctant, to play any of the kids coming through from the next level from our academy, whether it's Cabia or this Butler Oyedei. So we're now playing Mikel Merino. And I can't understand for the life of me where he's supposed to be playing today. So there's a lot of kind of scratching my head. And when he took Ethan Nwaneri off, I mean, you know,
I must admit, I found that baffling because
unbelievable.
of the forward players today, I mean, I know Mikel Merino had a couple of efforts, headers, but by far the person who looked most likely was Nwaneri, and he got taken off.
Bruv, he's the only person that can get us out of our seats today. Right? And in fact, in the stadium, most of this season, I would say there's been glimpses, and it has been glimpses, where I've got out of my seat and thought, wow, yeah, baller. He's one of them. Yeah? And today, I appreciate he went down with cramp in the last game. I appreciate he's 17 years old. And yes, we have to look after him, because we haven't done that with Bukayo Saka. We've seen that this season. We haven't done that with some of our players that are getting hamstring injuries, right? The manager's been flogging them, we're playing too many games. Ethan Nwaneri's a 17-year-old kid who wants to be playing football, wants to be given his chance. Now, I understand he come off with fatigue and cramp in the last game, and maybe he was injured. Maybe he felt it again. Maybe he asked to come off. If he has not asked to come off, I do not understand that substitution, because the worst player on the pitch for me tonight was Leandro Trossard. I thought he absolutely stunk out the gaff, right? And he got 90 minutes somehow, right? So he's getting the chance to stay on. And Ethan Nwaneri, the one that is cutting in on his left foot, is coming in from that right-hand side, that looks like he's very, very dangerous, that Nottingham Forest have done, to be fair, fairly well to keep as quiet as they could, because they're putting 2 men on him, because they know he's the danger man. I bet they were rubbing their hands together when he come off. Oh, thank God for that. We've got no more threat of that. And it was blunt as soon as he come off. So if that is a decision from Mikel Arteta, and that is tactical, and it ain't an injury, or it ain't looking after the kid, it ain't fatigue, I don't understand what he's doing there, right? And look, I also would appreciate it when people say to me, well, of course he's going to take him off, he's 17. Right, are we 3-0 up then? Do we not need a goal? That's what I would say to those people. If you're defending that substitution, are we winning the game 3-0, 2-0? Because as far as I was aware, it was a goal that we needed, and he was the one who looked like he was going to at least create one or score one, and he took him off. And I don't understand how you can do that. Now, I don't really care about the subs, because look at the state of it, Laurie. We're bringing on left-backs, mate, to win us games. Yeah, we're bringing on Zinchenko. We're bringing on Tierney. At one stage, I think we had 4 or 5 full-backs on to win a game. So for me right now, that is not good enough. And Ethan Nwaneri is one of the only shining lights, along with another 18-year-old or another teenager in Miles Lewis-Skelly this season so far, for me, to take some positives away from the likes of Gabriel and Partey, who've been fairly consistent on top of that. Other than that, it's been a mad season from certain individuals at the club, man. I've got to be real with you. There's certain players, Martin Ødegaard again today. I need to see more from him. I said he was the player I wanted to look towards in terms of captaincy, in terms of leadership. When are you going to grab a game by the scruff of the neck and go, hang on a minute, I'm the leader here. I'm the captain. I will get you over the line. I'll lead by the press like I always do, but I will create something for you. And all I keep seeing is him flicking it over the top of defenders. I need to see something more than that from this guy, man. So there's a lot of individuals today that I'm disappointed with again, man. And it's mostly players that are seen as experienced or senior members of the team. And, you know, look, the manager today as well, I know he can't do much from the bench in terms of his quality, the quality that he's got. But I need to understand that Ethan Nwaneri situation, and I seriously need to understand the positioning of Mikel Merino, man. Because if I said it earlier, if I'm standing next to him and he says to me as my right hand man, I think I'm going to take Ethan Nwaneri off, I'd have said over my dead body.
There you have it. Honest and forthright as always. Thank you.